Hello, this is Dr. Annaji. The next 5 minutes for those who listen carefully could be life-saving, because we are going to talk about the salt, the close friend and the dangerous enemy at the same time. The salt is a friend if we take the natural unrefined salt in the right quantity, and we converted it into an enemy when we consume the refined salt, even if we take the right quantity. Some would say, what is the difference? And to answer this question, let us start with how each of them are made. The natural unrefined salt is extracted the same way as it was before 2000 years. That is simply through letting the sun do the job, evaporating the excess water, leaving the salt untouched, preserving all its natural ingredients. But this is not the story with the refined salt, where it is treated with chemicals such as chlorine, sulfuric acid, and even a caustic soda, which they are using to remove potassium. Then water is evaporated using very high temperature and pressure, which result in changing the molecular construction of the salt, where only the sodium and chlorine are left. This is not the end of the story. The manufacturers of refined salt are adding an anti-caking agent such as aluminum silicate. Even bleaches they are adding. Do we need to remind you that many studies are pointing to aluminum toxicity as a cause of Alzheimer's? Some would say, so why don't manufacturers shift to the natural and refined salt? Well, because health is not in their list of priorities. They think of easy and cheap storage, where they can store refined salt without any change for so many years. Refined salt looks more attractive to the consumer with its pretty white color, and it comes out of the can with no clumping, thanks to the anti-caking agent they are adding. On the other hand, natural and refined salt contain more than 100 substances which we need to maintain the electrolyte balance in our bodies. Have any heard about the pH? The pH is a logarithmic scale to measure the acidity or alkalinity, and for our human body, its value is 7.2. It should not shift away from this value. Refined salt is decreasing this value toward more acidity, and this will create an excellent soil for chronic diseases such as cancer, arthritis, osteoporosis, and fungal infections. And believe me, these are just examples. In addition, decreasing the pH will greatly affect the function of the kidneys, liver, brain, and the body immunity, which we need to fight against germs, and the newly formed cancer cells, which are formed every day in all of us. Refined salt increases blood pressure because it lacks potassium and contains a higher concentration of sodium, around 40%. One of our colleagues advised his patients who have hypertension to start using natural unrefined salt, and he was not surprised when they noticed a decrease in their blood pressure with the same dose of medications and the same life regime. We have to know that the healthy adult is advised to consume no more than 6 grams of salt per day. That's around a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. Current intake is about 9 grams per day. That's 50% higher than is recommended for good health. And what makes it worse is that we are consuming refined salt instead of unrefined one. Unfortunately, salt coming from the sea are becoming polluted. Therefore, naturally occurring rock and lake salt may be a better option. In conclusion, we strongly advise all listeners to shift to the unrefined salt and stop using the refined one. Wish you all a healthy and a happy life. Thank you for listening.